and gentlemen, welcome to Raw Doggin With Dinero. I'm your host, Mike Dinero, and we're going to be watching the last 30 minutes of Monday Night Raw together here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. Before we do, though, as we're in this commercial break before the main event, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. You know what? Superman punch that subscribe button right now. Join the Bloodline. Acknowledge us. Make sure you go to the website right here, bloodlinenetwork.com. Follow on all the social medias at Bloodline Entertainment Network. You are not going to want to miss what we got going on here. We're making history here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. So make sure you are following along with us. We have a hell of a show on Monday Night Raw, and we have a hell of a main event because we're about to be watching the Judgment Day. Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It's going to be a hell of a show. We got Nick in the house. What's poppin', Nick? Thank you so much for making that beautiful intro that you guys just saw. That was all a product of my homie from the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for being here, bro. Shout out to Graydon from Binbuster. Listen, tomorrow we got episode 2 of the Director's Cut where he's going to be talking all about the James Gunn era of DC, the new era of DC. So make sure you tune in to the Director's Cut tomorrow here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. If you missed last week's episode of the Director's Cut, you missed a hell of an episode, so go check that out. We got my guy, King Huey in the motherfucking house, representing LOG. Thank you so much for being here, Brody. I appreciate you. We got Tim King representing the Bloodline. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, y'all. Thank you so much. So let's talk about what we have so far on this episode of Monday Night Raw. We started out with a fiery promo from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn talking about their upcoming matchup at Night of Champions against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa for the Universal Tag Team Champions. Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Should be a hell of a matchup. Sami Zayn cut a hell of a promo, but they were interrupted by the Judgment Day. And Kevin Owens didn't know why they were interrupted by the Judgment Day, but they were like, fuck you guys want to fight? Let's just fucking fight. So now it's setting the stage for the main event tonight. It will be what we're about to see is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Damian Priest and Finn Balor. We had some good matches on the show. This Raw been up and down for me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say it's a great show, but I'm not going to say it's a bad show. Nakamura versus The Miz, the first matchup on the show. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It's nice to see Shinsuke Nakamura back in his old King of Strong style form. It's nice to see Nakamura pulling out some of the old moveset. I think that this is a resurgence, and I hope that they treat it right because Nakamura right now is looking like money. Miz was bringing the heat too. You know what I mean? I say it week in and week out. If you hate on The Miz, you're just that, a fucking hater, because The Miz been doing his thing for like the last almost 2 decades, never injured, always making sure that he puts guys over, always solid in the ring, a great character. You know what I mean? That's longevity. The Miz got longevity, so you gotta love The Miz. We got Justin in the house. Thank you so much for being here, homie. Throw that one up. We had also the number 1 contender battle royal for the Intercontinental Champion. Winner gets a shot at Gunther's Intercontinental Championship at Night of Champions. Not this upcoming Saturday, but next Saturday. And it was fun. There was a lot of new debuts because we had a lot of the wrestlers that came up from NXT debut here on Raw. And right now, as they're showing an Apollo Crews vignette, earlier we saw a JD McDonough vignette. I kind of wish we seen these vignettes last week on Raw before we seen them for the first time in a battle royal just thrown in there. I feel like SmackDown treated those call-ups better. So I wish that, you know, we had a bit of a vignette for some of these guys before the Battle Royal. We're getting the vignette after we've seen them in the Battle Royal. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. I'm a Misfit since day one. Yo, facts. You know what I mean? You can't hate on The Miz. Like, yeah, he's a great bad guy. You want to boo him, but shit. Like, if you hate on The Miz in real life, then you're just a fucking hater. Shout out to my boy Ivan from the Circle of Debate. He says, let's go, baby. No shirt, Dinero in the house. It's going to be running wild, Raw Doggin With Dinero. Most definitely, homie. Yo, I'm so excited for this main event. We'll continue to talk about everything that happened on this Monday Night Raw, but right now we got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn making their entrance. Both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn having a real lengthy history with Finn Balor in NXT back in the day. We got Damian Priest hot off his amazing matchup with Bad Bunny. What was it, 2 weeks ago at Backlash? Was it last week or last week at Backlash? Time is flying, yo. We had a hot crowd. The winner of the Battle Royal, though, was Mustafa Ali, which is a surprise to me. They were making it clear that they want to go with Matt Riddle and Gunther down the line, with Matt Riddle antagonizing Gunther before the matchup. Also, it looked like at the end there, it looked like Bronson Reed was going to win that matchup. And boy, if we would have got Bronson Reed versus Gunther for the IC champion, that would have been nasty. I don't think we're there yet. I think that right now they're going to wait on that matchup, but that's a matchup that can headline any fucking show. I don't care where it is. Gunther and Bronson Reed, that would be a fucking banger. But that's not what we're getting. And Saudi Arabia, we're going to be getting Mustafa Ali versus Gunther. I'm saying right now, I like Ali, but Gunther's going to win that matchup easily. We had Becky Lynch cut a really good promo on Trish Stratus. She's got that fire back. The man is back. She wants Trish Stratus. Here we go, main event starting out with Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. Finn Balor making it look easy right now. Let me know in the chat, though, what you guys think about this Monday Night Raw. We also saw the in-ring Raw debut of Indus Sheer. Nice little squash match for them. I like what they got going there. They look like two badasses who are going to be, you know, a threat in the tag team division. I would like to see them in the fucking Viking Raiders. I think that would be a good matchup. Sami Zayn right now got the arm lock on Finn Balor. Finn Balor kipping up. I like that this match is going to get time. It's only 10:38 right now. This is the main event. This matchup is getting time. Big elbow by Finn Balor. Right to the jaw of Sami Zayn. That was nasty. Nice arm drag there by Sami. Yo, Sami Zayn's arm drags always look so nice. That man does that shit effortlessly. Got Damian Priest in the ring now. I don't know. Have we ever seen Damian Priest in the ring with either Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens? I know there were like two ships that just missed each other in the night when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn left Ring of Honor and Punishment Martinez, Damian Priest, joined Ring of Honor. So I don't think they ever faced off in the Indies, unless I'm wrong, but I don't think they did. So this might be the first time they're in the ring with each other. Should be a good matchup. Kevin Owens getting tagged in now. You got Kevin Owens and Damian Priest in the ring. Something I really liked about this episode of Raw was the sit-down interviews that Corey Graves had with Seth Rollins, hyping up the matchup against AJ Styles at Night of Champions. I'm sure on SmackDown we're going to get the same for AJ, but really cool to see Seth Rollins talk about his history in NXT, the Shield, breaking off of the Shield, the many different iterations of Seth Rollins that we've seen in the WWE. You know, we had the Shield member, the Architect, we had the Monday Night Messiah, now we have the Visionary. So that was really cool. And if they do the same on SmackDown for AJ Styles, I think it's going to be very interesting if they, you know, bring up his TNA run, his New Japan run. I think that's really cool how they're really bigging up these two competitors before their matchup at Night of Champions. Speaking of Night of Champions, we also had a promo by Cody Rhodes. Now that we're on commercial, I'm going to continue to talk about the show. Cody Rhodes cut a hell of a promo on Brock Lesnar. Now, I wasn't too interested in these two guys going at it again after their matchup at Backlash, especially so soon. But Cody Rhodes is selling me on this shit. Cody Rhodes could cut a hell of a promo, and he is making me intrigued about the rematch between Kevin Owens. Nah, I'm seeing Kevin Owens on the screen, and that's why I said it. But the rematch between Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, I'm getting intrigued because of the promo that Cody Rhodes cut tonight. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I said it on the Circle of Debate on Saturday. I said that I think if I'm writing this shit, I have Brock Lesnar win. And then we see this go to a third matchup. Maybe not right away, but if you really want to build Cody Rhodes back up to get a title shot at WrestleMania 40 against Roman Reigns, which is what I'm predicting is going to happen, you really got to make Cody go through hard times, break him down, and then build him back up. Because it's going to be hard to maintain the momentum that he had before WrestleMania for a whole nother year. So the way you do that is you got to make sure this is like a roller coaster. You have to have the peaks and the valleys. So with the peaks and the valleys, right now he's on the peak still, beating Brock Lesnar at Backlash. You need to have him go through that valley and have him stay there for a little bit. Not saying keep him in the mid card, not saying job him out every week, but make him go through hard times. Just like his Poppy did, just like Pappy did, just like the fucking son of the plumber Dusty Rhodes did, the American Dream, baby. You need to put him through hard times, because when he starts to build back up, when against insurmountable odds, he is going to be the guy to go against Roman Reigns once again. Now you really built a story of he is back at the mountaintop. So I think that, Brock Lesnar wins. I think Brock Lesnar destroys him. That's just me. Anyway, we also saw a pretty good matchup between Raquel Rodriguez and Chelsea Green. Shout out to both those women. Afterwards, after Raquel Rodriguez won the matchup, she was attacked by the returning Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler say, even though Liv Morgan is injured, you're going to defend those tag team champions. I'm a huge fan. Here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of Shayna Baszler. I'm not a big fan of Ronda Rousey, but I'm a huge fan of Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey as a tag team. And I think them going up against Raquel Rodriguez is going to be awesome, especially if we don't see Liv Morgan back in time for Night of Champions and we get a mystery partner or someone to step in with Raquel Rodriguez. I think that would be interesting. I'm kind of done with Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. They wrestled like all last year, so I'm not mad if Liv Morgan is not a part of that matchup. And that's coming from somebody who is a fan of Liv Morgan. When there's not many fans of Liv Morgan. I love Liv Morgan. She's a great wrestler, and she's also a fan of the podcast, which is a awesome thing. I should say friend of the podcast, not fan of the podcast. Maybe both. Who knows? Back to Raw. Commercial break is over. We got Damian Priest in the ring with Sami Zayn. Tags in Finn Balor. As this main event's going, I just want to say shout out to everybody who has been tuning in on a day-by-day basis to the Bloodline Entertainment Network. The content that this network is pumping out is second to none. Whether it is the Universal Wrestling Podcast, whether it is the TK Show, Tim King, whether it is Roto Slappers, whether it is the Circle of Debate, whether it is Doggin With Dinero, whether it is the Director's Cut, whether it's Broadcast, whether it is Cage My IQ, we have so much content, and it's only growing bigger. So if you're tuning in right now and you're not subscribed to the Bloodline Entertainment Network, hit that subscribe button, because there is so much great content on this network. And like I said, we're just scratching the surface. This is not even nowhere near where this network is going to be in a couple months. We are just scratching the surface. There's so much great shit coming to the network. Right now, it's just growing and growing and growing, and we have a lot of great content. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Word, throw your ones up in the motherfucking there, y'all. Hard times equals polka dots. I hope to hell not. You know what I mean? Definitely not. Last time we seen Cody in polka dots, he was rocking the Stardust. So I know Dusty had to rock the polka dots. I hope the hell not. Faction Cast was popping. Y'all throw your ones up in the air. Give me a scissor. What's popping? Had to trade the scissor for the one. I love it. Throw your one up in the air. Shout out to Faction Cast. Thanks for being there, y'all. Kevin Owens is on fire right now. He's about to hit the cannonball in the corner. Hits the suck it. Cannonball in the corner into Damian Priest. Rhea Ripley looking like she's seen a ghost outside of the ring. Another match we had on this show, we had Dominic Mysterio versus Xavier Woods, a rematch of last week. Not a big fan of Raw doing rematches from the week before, but I just love how every time Dominic gets on that mic, the crowd, no matter where they are, that crowd, speaking of Dominic just trips up Kevin Owens, allowing Damian Priest to get the upper hand, attacking him from behind. But everywhere they go, Dominic gets on the mic, and he is the most hated guy in the building. Speaking of Dominic, and Rhea Ripley just got ejected from ringside for interfering right in front of the referee's eyes. But yo, I just love how that crowd reacts to Dominic. That shit is awesome. I'm so happy for Dominic. Now, I'm a guy who a year ago was talking mad shit, saying, yo, I just don't see it in Dominic. He should be in NXT. He needs more time. I don't see personality. Look where he is now. Dominic is probably the best heel right now going in wrestling. Think about the crowd reaction. I don't want to hear, oh, here comes Xavier Woods attacking Dominic. But I don't want to hear MJF. I don't want to hear, even though there's the Bloodline, and I hope Devin is not watching, but I don't want to hear Roman Reigns. When you talk about crowd reaction, when you talk about heel heat, who has more than Dominic Mysterio right now? That crowd is always booing him out the building. Oh, here comes Paul Heyman. Next week is going to be Imperium, Gunther, Giovanni Vinci, and Ludwig Kaiser versus Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and a mystery partner. It's probably going to be Matt Riddle. And then we saw backstage Imperium with Paul Heyman. And now we see Paul Heyman walking out on the ramp on this matchup. Very interesting stuff. We all know that we're going to be getting the Bloodline. We're getting Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns up against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Night of Champions. So Paul Heyman has a vested interest in this matchup tonight. Tim King says, I begged for heel Dom. I never thought he'd be this good. That's what, I totally agree. And that's why I'm saying I eat my motherfucking words. Because right now, think about it. A year ago, I'm saying this guy has no personality. Get him off my TV. A year later, I'm saying he is the best fucking heel in the business right now. N-word, a.k.a. Riddle. It is fucking so predictable the way Riddle had his interactions with Imperium tonight during the Battle Royal. And then not only that, but we've been seeing Riddle team up with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They shouldn't have even said mystery partner. They should have just said it's Riddle. Riddle should have been like a guy who walks up behind him and is like, I'll be your partners, bro, or some shit like that. Because we all know it's going to be Riddle. I'll be fucking shocked if it's not Riddle next week. But overall, like I said, this Raw has been up and down. I have enjoyed it. It is, it's been a fun show, but it's not the best, you know what I mean? But this main event's been pretty hot. Definitely like the main event. Let me know in the chat who you guys are going for, Judgment Day or Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It's also announced we're going to be getting Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch now at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Should be a good match. I definitely like Trish's heel character. Wasn't the biggest fan of her on the mic last week, but I like when these legends come back and they switch it up, because it is too often that WWE and most wrestling companies, they just like parade the legends out, maybe have them have a match or some interactions in the matchup, but just because of their legend status, you're supposed to just cheer them as baby faces. And it's rare when a company takes the risk of taking a Hall of Fame legend that everybody loves and making them heel. Not saying it's never been done before, but it is rare. So I like that they did that twist. You know, it could have been a heel Becky Lynch attacks a Trish Stratus, a legend in Trish Stratus, and everybody gets behind Trish Stratus. But they took the risk of having Trish Stratus go heel and attack Becky Lynch. So I like that, you know, little twist in the story there. TK says, I would love a Judgment Day. I was going to say something about JD McDonough, but I would love a Judgment Day win here, right, to set something up for the future, but no chance Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn lose. I agree, but I mean, with Paul Heyman out there, who knows? Maybe Paul Heyman didn't come alone. He does got the fucking phone with him right now. Maybe we see an interference from the Usos. Maybe Solo gets involved. Who knows? But definitely, I think Judgment Day could definitely benefit from a win here against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and to set up the future for a future, presumably, tag title shot. That's if they don't lose the titles to Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa at Night of Champions. Which, by the way, nice kick, roundhouse kick there by Damian Priest. Finn Balor picking him up with the backbreaker, and then the backbreaker leg drop combination by Judgment Day. By the way, how would you guys, let me know in the chat, how would you guys separate those tag team titles? How would you guys put the SmackDown tag titles on SmackDown and keep the Raw tag titles on Raw? Because if you had this draft and you're going to be separating the rosters, it would not make sense to have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens both on Raw and SmackDown, especially if Roman Reigns didn't get that privilege. If Roman Reigns is just the champion of SmackDown and we're getting a new champion for Raw with the brand new World Heavyweight Champion, why does Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens get that privilege? How would you separate those titles? I think it would be interesting if another team joins the fray at Night of Champions, maybe Judgment Day if they get the victory here. That would be big. If Damian Priest and Finn Balor get the victory here, they join the matchup at Saudi Arabia, and then do what they did at WrestleMania 2000, where Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle had a two-fall matchup where the first fall was for the European champion, second fall was for the Intercontinental champion. Do that with the Raw and SmackDown tag team champions. Maybe have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win the first fall for the Raw tag team champions, and have Roman Reigns and Solo win the second fall for the SmackDown tag team champions. But I think nonetheless, you got to separate those tag team titles. And speaking of Roman Reigns, you got to fuse those two titles because it looks so stupid. I've been saying week in and week out, it looks so stupid for now having three titles for two brands. If you're going to have a Raw championship, then there is no reason why you should have a Universal champion and a WWE champion. Sami Zayn is on fire right now. Double leg takedown on Finn Balor. Wailing on him. TK says, I would just introduce a new set of tag titles and have a tournament that the Street Profits or the OC beat the Usos in the finals and Roman snaps. I like that too. I definitely like that too. That match was one of the coolest concepts ever. Definitely, back in that time period, you had WWE take risks with new match types. That two-fall matchup, one fall per title at WrestleMania 2000. A couple weeks ago, I talked about the Backlash 2001 show on the Wrestling DeLorean podcast, where there was a Ultimate Submission matchup, which is basically a Iron Man matchup where only submissions count between Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle. Nice Blue Thunder bomb by Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is on fire here. But I would like to see the WWE start taking some risks like that. It doesn't have to be crazy ass gimmick matches. We don't have to have these crazy structures, but just something as simple as you got 30 minutes, whoever has the most submissions win. Oh, here comes Imperium. Yo, think about what we got here right now. We got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the ring. We got Judgment Day. 1, 2. We have Paul Heyman representing the Bloodline. We have Imperium. Think about the amount of talent we have right now ringside. And think about all the factions that are represented right now. Judgment Day, Imperium, Bloodline. Kevin goes for the stunner. Uh-oh. Big stunner on Damian Priest. Damian Priest blocked it the first time going for the, what does he call that? South of Heaven chokeslam. Nice exploder suplex by Sami Zayn. Setting up for the haluva kick. Finn Balor is in position. Haluva kick on Finn Balor. Is this it? Is this it? Oh, man. We got Imperium getting involved again. Yeah, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had this match won. Kevin Owens going after Gunther. But Damian Priest with the chokeslam on the fucking corner. Yo, this is so awesome how many different factions are represented here. Sami Zayn flies over the top rope onto Damian Priest. This main event is fire. I don't care what anybody says. This main event is fire right now. Sami going for another little haluva kick. Ludwig Kaiser getting in the ring. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Yo. Judgment Day might do it. Finn Balor hits coup de grace. Wow. Wow. Finn Balor and Damian Priest just beat the tag team champions, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Now, I know it wasn't clean. I know you had Imperium interfere numerous times. That's a big victory for Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Look at Paul Heyman look like a mad scientist on the fucking entranceway on the phone with the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Hiring the help of Imperium. Shit is fire, yo. I'm loving this too, TK. This shit is fire. What an ending to Raw. I like that. Now, see, like you said, this sets it up. Finn Balor and Damian Priest are owed a tag team title shot. They just beat the tag team champions. Whether it was clean or not, the history books show a W. Like I said, that was an awesome main event of Raw. All the factions that were represented. The Judgment Day. Paul Heyman representing the Bloodline. Yeah, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Imperium. Bro, this was fire. I gotta say that main event took Raw up a notch. What was this? We got next week. Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes under one roof. I mean, they've been under one roof like every week for like the last month. So, but yo, I gotta say that main event took Raw up a notch. I don't know if it's just because I was watching it with you guys or if it was really that good, but that was fun. And I said it on Circle of Debate on Saturday. I said it on Top Rope Wrestling Talk on Friday. By the way, shout out to Dom, Bruce, Wendy. Go check out my appearance on Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Great, great episode. But I said it on Top Rope Wrestling Talk. I said it doesn't have to be a 5-star classic. If you have fun watching the show, if you have fun watching the match, that's all that matters in the end of the day. Because that's what we're here for. We're watching, it's called sports entertainment. We're watching this for what? Entertainment. So if you're entertained, Fuck a 5-star rating. If you're entertained, that should be more than enough. Facts. That was fire. Yo, there you have it. Thank you for joining me on another edition of Raw Doggin with Dinero. I will be back here next week, and we will be, once again, watching the final 30 minutes of Monday Night Raw together. But the Bloodline, we never stop. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning, 8:30 Eastern in the morning. Broadcast, watch along. Alabama Doink versus Heidenreich. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern. We have Graydon, the director's cut, talking about DC and James Gunn. You don't want to miss it. Throw that one up. Hit that subscribe button. Check out the website, bloodlinenetwork.com. Acknowledge us. Peace out, y'all. Have a good night. I will catch you all next week.